Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we'll be ranking the classic Mega Man game, excluding Rockman and Forte. So Mega Man, he's a cool guy, but I didn't know that recently until when a friend I met said that the Mega Man series is good, and I gave it a try and liked the series as well. Shout out to that friend, you know who you are. The parameters in which I will be rating the games is simply how much I enjoyed the overall experience, and how good the game was. So without further ado, be sure to mega buster that subscribe button, and rush jet down to the comments, and let's get straight into it. Number 11, Mega Man 8. I honestly don't believe that this game was bad, but it's definitely weaker in gameplay compared to the other games in the series, often feeling slow in its movement, and not having the precision platforming the rest of the series is known for. Was a bit of a knock on it for me personally. And the snowboarding section. Even though the snowboarding itself felt good, I can still hear the jump, jump, slide, slide, and those sections were horrifying. While the game has some negatives, I also think this game does some things really well. The weapons from the Robot Masters are really fun to use and often can interact with the environment. I think 8 does best in the series for most times, interacting with the environment with the Robot Master weapons. I also like how the Robot Masters have lots of personality, especially their lines for every fight. It's like Clownman saying, "Weakling, this isn't a joking matter." And as a whole, this game looks really good visually, and it has one of the most developed stories in the series, even if you don't like the voice acting. But it's still a really fun time, in my opinion. Number 10, Mega Man 6. I don't know what it was about this game, but it just felt off to me. Visually, the backgrounds have so much detail and look so good, and the music is great as well. Something about this game just felt off. I think it might be the multiple attachments just leading the design of the level. In this game, Rush Coil and Rush Jet are replaced by the Power Adapter, giving Mega Man a stronger punch, or a jetpack. And while the jetpack is really cool, I think the punch ability just doesn't really work. Number 9, Mega Man 10. Mega Man 10 is the first in the classic series to feature 3 playable characters in Mega Man, Protoman, and Bass. With Mega Man and Protoman keeping their same properties from Mega Man 9, with Mega Man not being able to slide nor charge shot, Protoman being able to slide and charge shot, and also being able to block projectiles in the air with a shield, but taking double the damage of Mega Man. And Bass, the new edition, having a dash that gives you crazy momentum when you jump out of it, and has a rapid shot that can shot in multiple directions. The story of this game is that there is a new virus that is making robots go crazy, and it's up to the protagonist of our choice to save the day. The game's movement feels really good, just like any Mega Man game should, especially with Bass added to the mix. Added to the mix. And the music sounds great, and the art looks great, and the stage has some really fun gimmicks. The Robot Masters all have really cool personalities, but their weapons fall really short. The ability to swap weapons using the bumpers works really well in this entry. Number 8, Mega Man 1. Mega Man 1, a game that started the Blue Bomber's journey for Everlasting Peace, is a really fun and charming game. The game looks good and the soundtrack is great, especially Electroman's theme, which you're probably listening to right now if I can figure out how to add it in editing. Stage design is really fun and memorable, especially this one screen in Bobman stage, which I'll try and play on screen right now and explain to you. So you see, you start on the bottom right, and there are these ladders there, right? I thought you have to get off the ladder, go to the left, and jump on that ladder, climb up it, and then fall onto that platform on the far left, and then jump over to the right. I didn't realize that you could just climb up there in the first place, nor that the screen exit is to the right, or that the screen exit is not to the right, it's actually up. So yeah, that was a really fun experience on my first playthrough of the game. Stage design is really fun and memorable, especially the Robot Masters are really memorable and their weapons are really fun to use. And the least one part of the game is definitely the Yellow Devil boss fight, but that's only one fight in the game. And I really like this game, but I think just a lot of games did it better in the series. Number 7, Mega Man 4. I don't really have a lot to say about this game. It's a pretty standard Mega Man game with good platforming. The Robot Masters are a little forgettable and the weapons are pretty mediocre. Although this game does have Scuba Match, which is amazing, the thing that I don't like about this game are the Wily stages, even though they aren't all technically made by Wily. This game does introduce the charge shot to the series, allowing Mega Man to charge his Buster for a stronger shot, which is a really nice addition. Number 6, Mega Man 2. The sequel to the original, they really polished a lot of the gameplay, and you can tell they really cared, as most of the game was made on the developer's own time, just because they felt like they could improve on Mega Man 1, and they did. Stage design is awesome, and the Robot Masters are great, and Airman even inspired the amazing song I Can't Defeat Airman. It has great music and is one of the best songs in the series in Wily Stage 1. One of my personal favorites, the Password theme. You The game feels great to play, and the game also expands on the idea of the assist items by adding the E-can, which replenishes energy, and the items like item 2 acting like a jet. Number 5, Mega Man 3. The game starts off with one of the best title screen themes in the whole series, and also introduces a lot of new mechanics to the series, like Rush, Mega Man's robot dog who has many uses like Spring, a jet, and a submarine. The game also introduces the slide ability, which allows Mega Man to slide faster, to slide faster than walking and be shorter to avoid hits. You also meet Protoman, Mega Man's older brother, with an awesome whistle and an amazing theme. In general, he shows up as a mini-boss, jumps and shoots, and really doesn't do much else, but he's still awesome. The Room Masters are pretty good, with Shadow Man, Gemini Man, and Snake Man being some of my favorites in the game. Also having some of my favorite stage themes, such as Shadow Man's theme, Gemini Man's theme, and Magnet Man's theme, as well as the game over theme and the credits being pretty nice as well. In this game, after you beat the 8 Robot Masters, you don't go directly to the Wily stages. Instead, you revisit the stages with slightly more difficult layouts and multiple bosses that are Mega Man 2 boss fights in Mega Man 3. I really like this personally, and I wish they did this more in the series. Overall, though, I really like this game. Number 4, Mega Man 9. The game was released over 10 years after Mega Man 8 and didn't really have to do much to return the series to its former glory of the 8-bit era, but it didn't cut any corners and really feels like a classic Mega Man game released recently. In this game, Dr. Light is framed for turning robots evil, but of course it's the evil Dr. Wily all along, promising to fix those robots but instead turning them evil. The robots are given a great personality, seeing what their uses would be in the end credits of the game. The game also introduces Protoman as a playable character for the first time in the series, having a slide and be able to charge his buster, but he can only shoot 2 rapid lemons, just like he did in Mega Man 3. He can also block projectiles in the air with his Proto Shield. In adding Protoman, we see Mega Man losing the ability to slide and charge his buster, which is a little unfortunate. Stage design is really fun, adding some stage-specific gimmicks like teleporters and up-and-down platforms and swinging platforms, and the game does a great job of introducing these elements. The Robot Masters have lots of personality, and some of my favorite weapons of the series like Light Trident, Concrete Shot, and Black Hole Bomb. The game also has a shop system similar to Mega Man 7, which works really well. Number 3, Mega Man 11. A revival of the series, long thought to be forgotten by its developer Capcom, and truly brings back the Blue Bomber to the heights of its past. I swear the game brings us back to Light and Wily being friends back in college, with Dr. Wily wanting to make a double gear system, while Dr. Light wants to make robots that can think for themselves. As you might have been able to tell, Dr. Light succeeded and got approval by the college, while Dr. Wily's was deemed to be too dangerous for use. Dr. Wily, years in the future, decides to use the double gear system on a batch of new robots to try and take over the world. Dr. Light, knowing that Mega Man couldn't save the day as is, gives him a prototype of the double gear system, even though it has a chance to destroy him. The game feels just like the classic games, but overall visuals that look great, and overall the music sounds good. But I personally like the old style better. The old style sounds better. My personal preference. The double gear system is an amazing addition to the formula, with the power gear allowing him to shoot a stronger buster, and the speed gear allowing him to slow time. And there are also shop upgrades that allow Mega Man to move at full speed during the use of that speed gear. But be careful, because you have limited use of the system before it overheats. When at low health, you can activate both gears at once and save yourself, but after, your buster shots will be weaker, and you can't charge them or rapid fire them. The stages are really well designed in both gameplay and looks, and the Robot Masters are given tons of personality. And they also have bios to learn more about them directly in the game. The weapons are also redesigned to change Mega Man's suit with the weapon. It might also be important to mention that the gears also work for the robot's weapons. My only gripe with this game is that it felt short overall, and the Wily stages felt really weak compared to others in the series. Number 2, Mega Man 5. This game is awesome. Do I have to say any more? Yes, I do, because the game is one of my favorites. The plot in this game is that Protoman has gone rogue, kidnapping Dr. Light and has set up 8 other robots to take over the world. The twist, of course, being that Protoman is a fake set up by Dr. Wily. The game doesn't do anything different from other in the series, with the 8 main stages before the Wily stages. But this game does the first 8 stages so well, with so many fun and interesting concepts. Plus this game has met trains and met astronauts, so that makes this game so much better. But honestly, the gimmicks like the Bubbles and Waveman stage and the shoot 'em up section later on in the level, the low gravity and Starman stage, the overall train theme and Charge Man stage, and the music in this game might honestly be my favorite in the series, and my personal favorite track being Starman's and Waveman stage. The game is bold in the weapons gained from the Robot Masters, with the big failure being the Power Stone. The big success is in Charge Kick, which is a hitbox to deal damage on Mega Man's slide, Crystal Eye, which bounces around the room, Water Wave, which is giving a wave that can only be used on the ground. This game also introduces Beat to the series. The lovable Bluebird is obtained by collecting letters hidden throughout the stage that spell out Mega Man 5, with 5 being Roman numeral V. And can be summoned to attack enemies, and is the weakness of a few later bosses in the game. The game truly holds up and is nearly the peak of the Mega Man series, but of course there's one more spot left on the list, and that spot goes to number 1, Mega Man 7. The first and only mainline Mega Man entry on the SNES. The game truly improved so much on the first 6 in the series, and is a standard that has never been met in my personal opinion. Picking up on the story where 6 left off, Wily is in prison and everything's peaceful at last. Then out of nowhere, robots programmed to activate by Dr. Wily if not contacted after a certain amount of time, break him out of jail to try and once again take over the world. However, this time it appears that there is another hero fighting by our side. Bass and his robot dog Treble, although later Bass, a creation of Dr. Wily's, betrays the trust and hospitality of Mega Man and Dr. Light. Alright, now that they're done with the story of the game, let's talk about the playing experience itself. First of all, we'll notice that Mega Man is a bit larger in proportion to the screen than usual. While some find this a bit off-putting, I think it's a change that they thought through, and the stage design works perfectly with it. The game being on a newer hardware, it takes full advantage of it, with visuals and music being some of my best in the series. Mechanics of the stage work really well, with the design of Mega Man being more mega, and leaves another part of the gameplay never quite seen the same way as elsewhere in the series. Collectibles. There's so many unique collectibles in this game, like the Rush Ship Plate, which when collected allowed Mega Man to use a super adapter which gives him a jetpack and a strong punch, but in Mega Man 6. In this game it works so much better, especially the punch having an upgrade that lets it home in on enemies. Other collectibles in this game include the Energy Balancer, which will automatically fill up the weapon without you having to choose it, Archie's Ball, which we'll talk about later, Rush's Surge, which is a major part of the collecting process, and even Protoman's Shield, and so much more. Now back to Archie's Ball. Archie, the assistant to Dr. Light, will make items for Mega Man in exchange for balls. This is also the first time there's a shop in the Mega Man series, and it works great. But anyways, once you give Archie his ball, he'll be able to make the items for half the price. The actual gameplay feels great as usual, and to me the slide move feels great to use in this game. Shooting Mega Busters is good as usual, and the weapons from the Robot Masters are great, with some of my favorites being Noise Crush, Slash Claw, and Wild Coil. This game also introduces swapping weapons without pausing by using bumpers, and this is revolutionary for the series as it allows for quicker, cleaner gameplay. And the final boss fight is really fun, and the ending, I won't spoil it, but it's amazing just for multiple reasons, like, you know, the shock of experiencing it for the first time and all that. And that's all for the day. Tell me what your personal ranking is down in the comments, and rush Jet down there to do that. Although I thought this video would be a fun one to make, since it's one of my favorite series, and I was correct. It was always, so much fun to make. Anyways, bye, and thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.